I am your goddess Nesca, here with the trucker woman. We'll be acting
The
to
downfall of the faithful sheriff.
Peanut.
So it's said that every somewhat successful product has a cheap copy. For example, with Snickers, we have Snipers. For Coke, we have Pepsi.
To be fair, Sniper sounds really interesting for a candy bar. I want me a Sniper.
What was wrong with Pepsi?
That was a joke, by the
Oh, it was a joke, apparently. Well, technically, isn't Pepsi the knockoff Coke?
Eh.
Yeah.
way, Pepsi lovers. Although you have no taste buds, I assume you at least have enough brain cells to comprehend that it was in fact a joke. Now go drink your product that tastes like warm piss. But Dr. Pepper clears both, by the way. Anyway, continuing where I left off, for Live Leak we have Instagram Reels now. For Moist Critical we have Pyro Live.
What the
We
fuck?
even now have a whole LARPverse of people acting like pop.
Why are
Oh!
they trying to knock off?
Lar PewDiePie, Pasta Theory, LARP Applier,
Mr. LARP.
LARP Genzi Zero, LARPler MMOs, Mr. LARP 6000.
Popular YouTubers.
Hello once again, audience. When we left off, I was actually in a different world.
But I assume by now you get
Wasn't that the death battle?
Yeah.
That was the death battle, yeah?
I remember those channels called George Floyd Gaming. Oh, God.
Oh wow, that's an interesting one. We're just talking about people who steals someone else's popularity and tries to use it for theirs. But I guess dead people count as popularity too in a different way.
iPhone Air.
At my point, where one product has seen success, you will often see cheaper copies that attempt to replicate
Detoes.
Hike.
Hike. I want you guys. Wait. You guys want to play some with me?
Yeah, you get up Ken and Lusty. We do
Yeah. Let's play Come on, everyone. Let's have a fun game of
said product in hopes of seeing a
Cat
portion of
caught.
the success the original
Pongles. Prongles. Look, it's Pumbaa.
saw. It's somewhat normal to see nowadays, and the same
Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Submissive Master. It's the porn version of M&M's.
same thing can be seen on the internet, especially with
I like that one. No. Wait.
it's somewhat normal to see nowadays, and the same thing can be seen
Nut Master.
Nut Master!
Kiki Candy. I like Nut Master. I love these. Is this nuts? Is
Yeah.
it
seen
nuts?
on the internet, especially with content creators. When one creator sees a large amount of attention, sometimes others will attempt to copy
That's
aspects
actually
of
good.
that
Tastes
creator
good.
to reap
Wait, what? Nut Master is actually good. Tasting. Send me some Nut Master. I want some Nut Master. I want a nut. Mr. Beast copies.
Yeah.
the same benefits, whether it's doing the same things, creating the same content, or even attempting to copy the personality of the original. However, in this category, unlike the off-brand products versus the name-brand products, it very rarely works out for the person copying the original content creator. Yes, initially you'll probably get a lot of attention if it's abundantly clear you are copying the original, and people are only there to either gawk at the LARP or make fun of you for what you're
Long
obviously
reactive
doing,
clips.
but long term it often doesn't work out, as people will probably get bored rather fast if that's your only selling point, unless
True. Your only gimmick is you're trying to be the Temu version of someone that's already popular.
You know what I've been seeing a lot lately?
Lot lacy?
Lot
Lot lacy?
Lot lately.
Lately?
Since Chibi Doki came out, now you're seeing a lot of VTubers doing their weird chibi models.
Uh-huh.
I've seen a lot of VTubers doing that now.
Oh, where they're like the weird cutesy
Yeah.
and derpity.
Yeah, but they don't have the personality.
Oh.
If you actually manage to develop your content and slowly distance yourself from just being that guy that copied another person. A good example of this is with the TENS clone 11s, someone that's main selling point was he looked exactly like the esports player TENS, and he got popular mainly on platforms like TikTok around 2023 due
That's
to that
annoying.
fact. And he played into it for some time until he branched away to do his own thing and is doing fairly well in that endeavor. But what if every time people got bored of you copying another career app, instead of, like I said, branching away and developing yourself past being just
Well, to be fair, I think the issue is these people don't have their own personality, so the only way they can have any semblance of popularity is if they copy someone else's
I
personality.
want not Trucker Man next to you.
Okay. The way you read that, you know what I thought Sheepy was saying he wanted to nut next to you, Trucker. And my mind was like, wait a minute, you want to masturbate next to Trucker Man. The way you read that comment, Trucker, I was like, oh my god, are we actually going to do some kind of weird orgy when we go to Florida?
a copy? And what if every time people got bored of you, instead you just continued and moved on to copy another creator? And it works so well, in fact, that you become so well known as a copy, you become synonymous and almost just as popular as one of the very creators you were
I'm sorry, your quote came out very, very misleading to Nesca. I thought you personally were asking Trucker if you could nut with him. I was like, okay, orgy time, apparently. Wait, what?
Head pats.
Ah, booby, no.
copying. And in some cases, people actually confuse you with the original, or they don't even know there was an original in the first place.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
even
that
develops
sucks.
to the point where it becomes some Ouroboros type shit, and groups of other people begin copying.
Okay, this shit was popping up for like a week straight on Twitter.
He made himself anime.
No, this was someone fucking with him.
Uh-huh.
You, with each one differing slightly with their version and most definitely their personality, to say
Oh.
the least. But it's now just copies of copies, and it starts to get really ridiculous.
MAGA.
On top of the fact, countless other controversies and things from your past begin rearing their head as you slowly become more and more hated by the wider internet, resulting in people eventually granting you the prestigious title very few are fortunate enough to be bestowed, which is an internet lolcow. That is more or less the summary of the creator we are going to be speaking about today, with that being the Faithful Sheriff, formerly known as Dr. Witnessep or Edward Preach Fishing, or just Joseph Henning.
Okay, so let's take a moment to think here. He had previous channels. Apparently he wasn't getting the views and likes and watches that he wanted, so he figured, oh, no one's gonna like me for me. I need to go copy someone else's gimmick.
He was, I think, first he copied, Dr. Disrespect when he popped off.
Oh, so he was already copying. Okay, so even though he was doing a live tuber right now, he was still copying someone else's. Oh.
This is someone that I've briefly
So he didn't
spoken
even
about
try.
before in another
Yeah.
video, and someone that within their current lab is a peanut that, if you couldn't tell, is a blatant copy of an already existing streamer that many of you may know as the guy from Fortnite, or alternatively the popular streamer The Burnt Peanut.
Love you, nut. Peanut's middle is the perfect place for my froggy penis. I want to wear them like a condom and feel like a sweet ass pucker.
And as I alluded
Was that like a chat comment? What the fuck?
Yeah, that was a chat comment as Kermit the Frog.
Wait, did he get his like voice, his AI voice thingy to speak in Kermit the Frog?
Yes.
He asked for that.
alluded to
Can we
earlier
get
on,
ours
people are
so
either
except
brain dead,
for-
I don't
fortunately
think you
not
can.
that terminally
Yes, we can. We just don't know how. Is the issue? No, Sephiroth, no, gimme.
online, or the faithless sheriff has honed his craft so well over the years that it even puts the TF2 spy to shame, because some people actually confuse him as the original Peanut. And
Kirsha
quite
did that.
recently, he's been everywhere, getting a lot of online attention, but obviously not for anything
Yeah.
good. Because right now he is basically the internet's fleshlight, primarily because, for one, as we'll find out, it can be said he's a serial copycat, his on-stream behaviour alone has caused quite a few problems, and he's found himself in multiple controversies due to recent and past events under
Wait, he animated himself?
Yeah, he turned his Peanut into a V2 model.
Well, there's a little less copying in that regard, probably, but
And speaking of Demi,
yeah.
what kicked off all this controversy is he raided into her chat and he said the N-word in her chat. Here, I'll pull that up. See if I can...
It might be in here.
No, I looked this way. It wasn't in there. Pull it up. Let me send this to you.
Doopa doopa doopa.
Here.
Doopa doopa doopa. Hey, Lusty Link's alive. Of course she is.
Okay. Faith.
F-I-F-A-I-T.
Faithful Sheriff. I've seen out. What's more was the shorter of the two? Yeah, I'm not watching an hour. Which one? That's 4 minutes. Yeah, he raided into her.
Let's watch the F-bombs here.
Faithful Sheriff! How do you watch me then? How do you watch me if I spam F words every single moment of the stream? Huh?
Even when people try to genuinely tell him that they're not interested, he'd often force the conversation throughout the game.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what was that?
Even when people try to genuinely tell him
Faithful Sheriff, is that true?
Wait, what?
You said the N-word!
that they're not interested, he'd often force the conversation throughout the game in an incredibly antisocial way. And at times, the constant rejections from normal adults trying to play a video game would get to him. In one video, a man from China
I typed it, so what? No, I gotta ban you, bro. It was.
Okay.
I
cool.
guess we're not having a Faithful Sheriff plus Demi collab.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, you'll probably do it now with how far you're starting to fall.
Yeah.
his previous personas.
That was a Papa Meat video talking about him. That was like 2 months ago.
Hi, Blood Runks.
Hey, Blood Runs.
Nut addiction.
So, back in the day of the 1910 and 1800s, people would refer to black individuals as
And a lot of people nowadays only really tune into his streams
Where's Blood Runks Runkses? Where's Blood Runkses? I only see one Runks. Where's the other Runks?
and content to basically clown on him and make his life a living hell.
Like, how do you make your income?
do that.
Yeah, Fortnite pay you?
No, my stream, my views, my TikTok, my videos pay me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're not a 300-pound chud loser who asked to have a micro penis on their peanut VTuber?
What?
Yeah, where's your twin?
Fucking Twitter.
But we'll be looking into the faithful sheriff and his past today in order to answer the question if he deserves said notoriety and hate, or is it all just simply overblown? But first, where did the faithful sheriff come from?
No. Oh, are you black?
Yeah.
Oh, good. If I'm a white dude,
Oh,
but I
don't
say
say
the
this.
N-word like this, I'll give you an example. A guy calls me the N-word, and I say, bro, I'm not a...
So before becoming the
hello, amongst the shitting and nut. Shitting and nut. Okay. Don't do it at the same time though. You might get some weird colors going on. Also maybe infection. Ew.
Faithful
Yeah.
sheriff, Joseph was known under another name
Now
or
they got
persona, if you
nasty.
will. A far more infamous and hated name that still rightfully follows him around to this day. It's kind of like his dark backstory, maybe his Green Goblin era one could say, before he later became the Peanut we all know and love, where he does almost the exact same style of content he was previously so infamously known for. But he started making content mainly streaming on Twitch all the way back in 2020. Now if you remember anything about 2020, not only was it one of the good years, but two major things were happening. One was the rise of COVID leading to lockdowns, and the other probably because of COVID was
Coronavirus cases surge. Yeah, only in the Californias and the New Yorks and the Illinois and the Nevada. Is that
Do you-
Nevada?
Yeah. Do you remember trying to go to NakaCon?
Shut up.
Yeah.
And
Then they would try to go
saying, the moogs, when people nag, then yeah, naggers.
That's South Park. And then we thought, well, we're going to ChimeraCon in a couple of months. It'll be over by then.
It was such a horrible time.
the huge jump in popularity surrounding live streaming, which both led to a dramatic increase in people starting to stream themselves and the amount of people tuning into certain streamers like Ninja, Jinxie, XQC, and more relevant to this story, Dr. Disrespect. Now, Dr. Disrespect was quite popular prior to 2020, and before his latest accusations, and no, I'm not talking about the cheating situation.
From the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane!
Stupid fucking mistakes, man.
But before his latest controversy, Dr. Disrespect was one of the top streamers. He had an enjoyable on-stream persona, he had cool transitions, his production quality was genuinely impressive, and he even briefly dabbled in music.
Aw. They need you to come more!
Is that thunder I'm hearing?
You were saying there was supposed to be a storm coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
Production. Thousands poured into the so-called Champions Club every day and enjoyed watching his streams, with one of said viewers being Joseph. In fact, he liked Dr. Disrespect and idolized him so much he was inspired to start streaming himself.
What is the thing? Copying is
Imitation.
Imitation, that's it. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Yeah.
But don't do it on the nose!
Yeah.
Self, but instead of starting his streaming
Nesky
career as
comes out.
himself and slowly discovering what type of streamer
If there is a fucking version of me that spells my name the way that I want my name to be said, I'm beating someone's face.
he wanted to be and evolving his content over time, but in his case he basically decided to say fuck that and became a Dr. Disrespect clone, even naming himself after him with the username Dr. Witnesser.
WistJet does on his every video. Yep.
And when he did eventually start streaming, he attempted to replicate both the
Nia.
look and aesthetic of the Dr. Disrespect streams. Now look, I
This
get
is
being
Nia,
inspired by
though.
other creators, but there's being inspired where you maybe take one or
What?
two things and
Oh, what Bloodrunk says. He said I removed the J, but that just says Nia.
Hmm.
Nishka, the holy angelness.
They're the anti-you.
The anti-me, no.
They goon for Cloud.
More reason for them to be murdered.
do it in your own style, but then there's attempting to be a one-to-one copy with both the look and name. And at that point, you aren't simply taking inspiration, you're attempting to blatantly copy that person. But to be fair to Mr. Witnesser, his on-stream antics were vastly different to that of Dr. Disrespect's, and it wasn't just out of nowhere he decided to become a copy of Dr. Disrespect. There is a tiny bit of lore to the LARP, which heavily relates to what he does on stream and the infamous acts he's known for within the space. So from what he has publicly divulged, the story basically goes pre-COVID he was heavily religious and he was a part of a local church. And at said church he asked if anybody wanted to go door to door with him to try and spread the word of their religion to people in their local area. But unfortunately, nobody wanted to do this with him. So he just decided to do it himself. But then COVID hit, so he now couldn't attend church or go door to door to speak about his religion. So
was he Mormon?
Yeah, I thought that was a Mormon thing. No, Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness. One of those.
Every now and then, when we lived on the farm, they would knock on our door. Thing is, we worked nights and we were dead asleep.
Let's beat Sk. Whenever we say Nazca, the holy goddess. Ne-e.
Oh, those fireworks.
That's not 4th of July yet.
People send them
taking
off
inspiration
prematurely.
from his now favourite streamer, he had an idea. And with said idea, along with basically copying Dr. Disrespect's name and appearance, he would market himself and his streams in an area not many were doing at the time. He got into the meta early, if you will. And this was, as he titled it, bringing the gospel to gamers.
I go into games and tell people about Jesus.
You go into games, like
Mhm.
Fortnite games,
Mhm.
and tell people about Jesus.
I tell them the gospel message, man. The gospel message of the good Lord. When I went to church, I asked people, did they want to go knocking on doors and telling people the good message, you know, like, because I was excited.
Probably not the best of ideas, because a lot of people have the little sign. Like, we got that little sticker that says no soliciting.
You know, people fucking ignore it.
Yeah, that's pretty much soliciting. Yeah.
To be do something for the Lord and
So
share it
he's a
through my
digital
neighborhood and
Jehovah's
stuff.
Witness.
And nobody volunteered to help me. Like nobody. I said, okay,
Lead the
well,
way.
screw that. I'll do it myself. And then COVID happened, and then everybody stayed indoors, so I decided to do it online in the games.
sure, yeah.
I went viral for doing that.
Yes, he would preach his beliefs in Fortnite games. And look, I'm not the best when it comes to religion. I do have my own beliefs, but I think one of the worst places to preach one's religion is on a game, let alone a
Very much so, because
Sorry, I gotta check some.
you're curious about what goes on the outside world.
Oh, good thing I checked. I got parts out here.
That mine or yours?
Mine. Car parts.
Oh, what, my brush?
It's gonna be here till July.
Boo! I said 22.
I was also getting worried of whether the package is supposed to come or not. Alright, I'm back.
You move.
Well, I can't be the first guy behind a female avatar. So I guess I'm copying.
I would say you can't be the first looking redneck. You're supposed to be a coyote, but everyone's gonna call you a fox or a wolf.
Yeah.
You probably look more
game like
foxy.
Fortnite where the
Yeah.
average player is either an infant or just mentally checked out, because that's the only way you can play that game. And that's not mentioning the fact that most people
Yeah, let's talk religion when we're sitting here trying to kill each other. That's a great idea.
In Fortnite.
would rather just play a game than have a
Let
conversation about
alone
religion. On top
Original.
of the fact, knowing the average gamer, some
My
slurs are
original?
going to be
As far as I can tell, I've never seen much in the way of a potted plant being a little PNG VTuber or something or other.
My son's friends use slurs online games. What can I do?
Eh.
Son?
Keep reading. You came this far.
You might say your son, while your friends might think you're being funny and cool, the words might harm and disrespect slur. Can I call this person a slur?
involved, let's be honest.
Oh, what? You're live on Twitch?
That's a lot of beeping.
It's a lot of N-words because they found out this person was live on Twitch.
It's just not the best place for you to attempt to educate people on your beliefs, in my opinion.
Well, what's the old saying? Nothing is unique anymore. Right?
Yes and no. I mean, you can make the argument, well, V2 itself isn't unique anymore because that came out, back in 2016?
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but the
know
act of simply
100% that my
preaching about-
VTuber
Sorry.
is not supposed to be based off of any other VTuber, so I'm not copying any other VTuber that's out there. I just use what I liked, and I thought, like, I like Sailor Moon, I like anime, I thought the hairstyle of All My Goddess was pretty neat, just kind of going in with my moo and junk. This is, for the most part, all my design. Little small tweaks by my VTube artist, but for the most part, this is exactly how I envisioned my character. Inspired by a bunch of anime, sure, but never stolen, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, Amu. And I know there's a bunch of other like goddess
I'm waiting.
VTubers and stuff, but there's no goddess like me. I'm pretty damn sure.
I'll wait for this guy to seize me and it's like, oh, I could just make a female peanut.
Just give the peanut tits, okay?
One's religious belief on a
Would that
game
make it a
is
food
not
app?
why Dr.
Probably.
Witnesser is so infamously known. It was more about how he did it. Because when he finally found someone with a functioning mic in his lobby, he would always prioritize trying to educate them on his religion by any means necessary, and he will be very persistent in this endeavor.
Jesus or Satan?
Jesus.
Okay, good choice.
F. Satan.
But don't use F. That's little kids shouldn't be swearing, bro. Come on. Jesus wouldn't want you swearing, right? If Jesus was standing in front of you, right? What would you ask him?
I don't know. Can we play the game?
We're playing.
Oh, he's making the little kid uncomfortable and sad. He just wants to have a good time playing a video game and a weird grown-up sitting there talking to him. Oh.
Could you imagine that?
Mom, there's a weirdo trying to preach to me while I'm trying to play a game.
Did I set?
Did I hear a set?
Yeah.
Oh, Satan, yes.
In the game, you can't talk and play the game at the same time, bro.
I can.
Hey!
I
Okay,
just want focus.
focus
More
on
focus?
Jesus.
Obviously, he's coming on a bit strong there. They clearly indicate they don't want to talk
Mommy,
about
I think this guy is a secret predator who's using Jesus to try to lure me in. That's what I'd be thinking, to be
One of
honest.
the things Celeste got shit for when she was doing, I think it was Roblox back in the day, is she's not doing what this guy did. She just said someone asked her about Jesus. She told her beliefs. And she got banned from Roblox for that. They won't blame the child predators, but they'll go after that. But
It's
they're
like, yeah, sit there sexually coax and prod children. Sit there and talk about the Bible or beliefs or whatnot. You get banned.
well, they're probably upset they were taking their dates away from them. I'm not wrong.
this, but he still persists. And even more concerning, that is a literal child he's trying to educate on his religion. And that's what he's most known for, basically ramming his religion down people's throats even when they refuse.
Not here to listen
It's okay, I knew what you were saying.
to your Bible study.
Hey, dude.
Welcome.
It's the most important thing you're ever going to listen to in your whole entire life because it's going to save your life.
You are not going to do anything
What?
that's going to affect my life.
Really? So if I tell you if you don't turn from your wicked ways and repent and trust in Jesus, you're going to die and burn to hell and cease to exist and turn to ash, that's not going to affect anything you think about?
I don't care what you...
And you would think that the event I showed you earlier with him
Yes.
Our Catholic
That is the best way to preach about God and stuff. Just saying you're a horrible sinner and you're going to go burn in hell if you don't listen to me.
Our Catholic friend isn't that bad.
Oh yeah, I love our friend.
him talking to a child about religion would be a
Did he
one.
send you a text about talking about something? You saw a guy taking a shit on a bus.
I don't think I saw that text. Last
Off,
text I saw
because-
was him telling me that the voice actors for Yu Yu Hakusho and voice actors for Sailor Moon, most of them were married.
Oh.
So a normal person would either scale down or maybe not engage in such conversations with a child. Because, you know, it's a child and it's also not their child, so they very much don't have the right. But if you thought our dear old Dr. Witnesser wouldn't do such a thing again, you would be sorely mistaken, because he's done it multiple times.
Okay, who's Jesus? Tell me.
God's son.
Oh, okay. Nice. What did Jesus do for us?
Died.
On the cross?
Yeah.
For our sins, right?
I don't really know.
Oh,
I
well,
don't go to church.
allow me to educate you if you want. God made Adam and Eve.
I like that he said if you want and then just continues regardless if he wanted or not.
I'm also going to point something out that bothers me.
Uh-huh.
He's live streaming and he has a kid on that's not his, interacting with a kid that's not his, live streaming. You can say what we want about us. I don't want children anywhere near us.
Mm-hmm. And what if this child is, let's go with, Jewish? I'm pretty sure they don't appreciate that.
I think there's one video of him in here of him actually chastising a Muslim child.
Well,
of him telling me he's going to hell and he's going to die and go to hell.
Mm-hmm. In the Bible, it says there's a time and place. Also, know your audience. Damn.
First two people. Jesus dying on the cross
Oh.
made it possible for
I need
us to
a
be
little-
forgiven.
I need a little more metal.
I'm talking about Jesus here, son. Okay, listen.
You were so correct. There is a time and place, because right now, all he's doing is he's pushing this kid away from anything Jesus, Bible stuff, because he's just ruining a game. So yeah, it's talking about it at the wrong time, the wrong place. You're just gonna be pushing someone away. Also, the way he's talking about it too is very negative.
Get the cars. You know,
Let's go. I got a legendary sniper.
You fight the good fight.
I need 250 wood. Do you have any wood I could have?
Your lack of paying attention is.
Dude, this guy doesn't have a girlfriend.
No, I'm sorry, scratch that. He is married, he does have kids, I remember that now.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Go teach your kids.
Did you paint all that?
Yeah.
That does look good.
Thank you.
Disturbing me, bro.
Please.
You don't want to hear about Jesus?
Well, I kind of don't really care, but I need
What?
You should get a Bible. You can get one for free on your phone. Did you know that?
Cool, I don't really care. I just got really good loot.
Find yourself a youth Bible and read more about God.
But this leads on to one event he's actually most known for, apart from the forcing his religion on people and the times he said things relating to race.
Did you say the N-word? And I'm like, what N-word? You mean...
But he is most infamously known for the time he preached to a child who had a different religion and basically said they're going to hell.
Talking about since you're American and Christian, since the Muslim culture, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about it because they don't want to believe it. That's why. The Christianity in general. It doesn't matter that I'm in America. Christianity is all over the world. So look, if you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell.
This is the thing Dr. Witnesser is most known for. Well, that and the time he told a child Santa isn't real.
People were saying that Santa Claus isn't real, that your parents just bring you the presents.
Yeah, that's actually true, unfortunately. And that's another lie and people do spread. I don't teach my kids about Santa Claus because it's not real, and I don't lie to my kids.
However, after this event, Twitch in 2021, just a year after he started
It's the Bruce do.
streaming, would decide enough is enough and would outright ban him from the platform indefinitely. And Mr. Witnesser would respond saying this ban was down to Twitch obviously hating Christianity because it goes against their agenda and the LGBTQ.
My name's Dr. Witnesser. Twitch permanently banned me off their platform. The gospel of salvation is a message of love, and there's absolutely no hatred involved in a message like
I'm sorry, you're not a Celeste.
Yeah, or Maria.
You are pushing your beliefs onto people at the wrong time, wrong place. Again, Lord said, know your audience. Exactly. Teach your kids to say Jesus turned water to wine because he liked to party.
that. Twitch shows their intolerance to Christianity. And it's no surprise because they're run by the LGBT community. And if you go onto Twitch and tell them about homosexuality as a sin, that goes against their agenda.
He also claimed he would be pursuing legal action against Twitch for the ban, which is kind of ironic since the person he's copying, Dr. Disrespect, did the same thing when he was banned, but he won or settled his case with Twitch, and Mr. Witnesser, I don't think ever started his case with Twitch, despite saying he was suing them. But anyway, Mr. Witnesser would be banned for the next 2 years on the Twitch platform, and within those 2 years he would continue his preaching and usual antics on other platforms like DLive, which I've never heard of before, but you would then move from that
kind of, what would you say, televangelist kind of types?
Yeah, because I don't think they believe what they preach.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't read what they preach.
Mm-hmm. Or just trying to be big. Again, I feel like this guy is grifting with Jesus. He wants, because the way he's already grifting, pretending to be Dr. Disrespect, and then later pretending to be the burnt peanut. He's just trying to get popularity. He's trying to get people to pay attention to him. Basically, it's like the inverse of like the Johnny Somali.
Yeah.
Instead of being a nuisance, he's just trying to use something good, but turning it nuisance.
It's two sides of the same shit coin.
Yep.
Home streaming on places like YouTube and Rumble. Also around this time he did briefly start another channel on YouTube called Edward Preach Fishing, but that went nowhere and he stopped uploading after only 6 videos. As the years went on, Dr. Witnesser never really changed his on-stream behaviour, which just led to his reputation getting worse. And at the same time, clips of him either forcing his religion on others or getting trolled went viral.
I don't know, you might need... I don't know if we can res you. You might want to call God to come resurrect you.
Hey! That's not funny.
Yes, it was.
It's pretty funny. You're not, you know, you smiled. Don't lie.
I didn't.
Gluttony's a sin. Hey, Dr. Witnesser. Gluttony's a sin.
Videos going into his online activity also went viral, with the most popular being a video by Curtis Connor with almost 10 million views. And in his twilight years as Mr. Witnesser, many would just give him the nickname and regard him as Dr. Chud, and for some reason people would make edits of him.
Dr. Chub. Oh, I shouldn't be Chud, it should be Dr. Chub.
Where he appears to be releasing gas or alluding to him doing things with children.
Oh.
Epstein's Island, that shit. Yo, I'm talking about like
That's a little far. I don't like using stuff like that on someone.
Yeah.
Because that is not a insult you should throw around lightly.
Yeah.
I would just like it to be known from what I found, there hasn't been any serious allegations of him talking explicitly to anyone underage, even though recently in TikTok comments people are circulating a certain Discord announcement which I'm pretty sure is complete.
Would you read your private parts of the faithful sheriff if it was...
What?
Is this a poll? Look.
Would you reveal your private parts to the faithful sheriff if it was by God's will that you do so?
Completely fabricated. I think this
Okay,
allegation or misinformation mainly just comes from the thing with him forcing his religion on kids in-game. But with that said, he seriously was not helping himself when it came to people trying to allege he does things like this.
Yo, what's up, Doc? Long-time fan, just want to know, when did you know you liked kids? Oh. Wow. Yes, I talk to minors all the time. So what? And an 8-year-old, I talk to them all day, every day. So what?
Okay, he's referring to talking to his own children there, his own kids, just for context.
Okay.
But his reputation was at complete
not a funny
rock
joke.
bottom at this point. No matter what he did, people even knew him as the guy who attempted and failed to force his religion on people, even kids. Or he was known as the person who was a Dr. Disrespect clone that was being constantly clowned on and trolled. And around this time, it looked like he was going to be forever chained to this infamous reputation, or at least as long as he existed on the internet. But all of that changed in 2025 with the...
Is that around the time when the the Dr. Disrespect was...
He got fucked over by like 2024. I remember that because we were going to Etchy Dallas.
Okay.
So...
Didn't it turn out to be true or something? Or...
Yeah, he was talking to underage people, yeah.
The rise of another streamer. A streamer that goes by many names, from the Peanut to the best VTuber, depending on your definition of a VTuber, or as he's also known as, Israel's greatest streamer.
Bro, this is the number one streamer of Israel. Israel's finest.
You'll never find me, Mr. Coxie. I'm under the CIA witness protection, or the Israeli witness protection or something, or whatever the stupid shit Hassan said this week. Whatever.
This was the Burnt Peanut, a streamer that saw a huge rise in mid to late 2025, with a lot of people finding his content entertaining due to things like his on-stream personality, production quality, and his overall peanut appearance, resulting in him standing out as a streamer. Which, with that said...
Wait a minute, does he have a kid strapped? Some weird mutant strapped to him?
That is weird.
Some of said characteristics sound like
Baby
what
nut?
other people would have
Baby
used to
nut.
describe another streamer, but with Peanut's rise, a lot of people would take notice, including Dr. Witnesser, and he would once again be inspired, but this time he would shed his mortal skin and ascend to his next evolution. Or his next LARP, if you want to be specific.
What does goonin mean? It means playing with your dingo till it goops. Wow.
What?
That's crazy. Wow. That's
totally
wild.
So coinciding with the rise of the Burnt Peanut, in early 2026, Dr. Witnesser would once again basically do the same thing he did with Dr. Disrespect, but this time with the Burnt Peanut. And he himself would become a P-tuber or VTuber, taking heavy inspiration.
Yeah. Kirsha confused this for the Burnt Peanut.
Well, it is essentially just the same thing, just with a mustache, book, and a hat, right?
From the Burnt Peanut.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody!
It would be no different if someone took my model and just changed a little bit in my clothes and my hair, but it's still, like, noticeably the same. Just lightly change color.
Faithful shift! And we're going into Fortnite and telling people about the good Lord.
To be honest, since the Burnt Peanut's rise, this type of thing wasn't uncommon. We saw a lot of the so-called food tubers around this time, where people would put their eyes and mouth on any inanimate object or food item. I'm pretty sure at one point I even saw a used period pad with a mouth and eyes. But yeah, a lot of people were recreating the Peanut format in their own ways, probably in an attempt to see a portion of the momentum that...
How was that not banned, like, instantly?
That's a great question. Next question.
No, seriously.
What would you make the blood? Oh.
It was tomato sauce. It was a trans period pad.
So you would make it blonde and modestly dressed?
Yeah, sure. Something like that. Who knows?
The Burnt Peanut was seeing at the time, and there wasn't really a problem with this. Yes, most were copying the format, but not entirely, because they were doing their own things with it, and nobody except one person was copying him one-to-one, and he himself didn't really see an issue with people doing this.
I mean, are they... I don't know. I mean, are they kind of hopping on the floor a little bit? Sure. But you know what I mean? It's like whatever. It's like whatever. I mean, I didn't invent the peanut. I didn't, you know what I mean? They can do whatever they want. They can, you know what I mean? But follow your dreams. That's what I say. That's what I say.
However, as I said, one person wouldn't simply do what every other copy was doing, and they would choose an avatar very similar to the burnt peanut, which, as I've said, was apparently so close to the original that people often confused them. And that person was the faithful sheriff, aka Dr. Witnesser, who was now a peanut.
I don't know what happened. I fell asleep watching the Bugulator, okay? And I fell asleep. I woke up like this, okay? I'm telling you, I don't know what happened.
But wait a minute, before you condemn him as a copycat and label this as just a blatant copy and paste of the burnt peanut so you can ride on his coattails of success, because to be fair to him, he did add something to this new persona, and that was lore. Now, the canonical lore in the Faithful Sheriff universe is that the only reason he became a peanut was because the burnt peanut cursed him to become one using his peanut magic, because the sheriff had made some not so nice remarks towards his friend. And despite the obvious fictional elements within this story, this is based off actual events. As when the sheriff was still the witnesser, he would say that the peanut's friend Gingy was boring, and apparently Gingy would see this, reply to him in some fashion, and supposedly he was very apologetic upon seeing she did actually respond. But for some reason, he would then use this event to transition into the faithful sheriff, implementing the burnt peanut into his lore as a villain of sorts. Despite Peanut at the time not having anything to do with him or this situation, it was only Gingy.
I think it's the burnt peanut. I think he did this to me. You know what it is? I bet you is I called his friend Gingy boring. It's a curse. It's a curse. I bet you this is what happened. Burnt peanut cursed me for calling his friend Gingy boring.
You know what you mean?
Yeah, he turned me into a peanut, actually. That's why I'm a peanut. He turned me into one. He's my arch nemesis.
Also, on multiple occasions,
just taking someone and using them as your own lore without any kind of permission, hell, not even having any kind of interaction with the person, that seems very douchey.
His mouth is creepy. Ugh.
Of course his mouth is creepy.
Sheriff has tried to reach out to the burnt peanut, only to be ignored.
Here's the deal. If you get the burnt peanut to respond to this video by saying, I released you of your peanut bones, you get your witnesser back.
Spoiler alert, we never got our witnesser back. However, now that he was a peanut and no longer the witnesser, with this evolution, you'd expect him to maybe change his content slightly. You wouldn't think he'd just continue what he was doing as the witnesser, but now just as a peanut, right? Well, he wasn't exactly doing the same thing. One key difference was he was now leaning into the whole Dr. Chud gassy thing as the peanut.
One more? Okay.
One more.
Got it. Sniff him out.
Yay, fart jokes.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Am I the only one from the timeline where all these weirdos were good friends? Maybe. Yeah, because apparently Peanut didn't know this guy, but ugh, that is a weird timeline. No. Best timeline? You're in the best timeline with the Skybrows.
Yeah.
This is the best timeline where all the nice people know each other, more or less.
Sorry, a little bit gassy.
But yes, he was doing the exact same things he was infamously known for as the Witnesser.
So, do you believe in Jesus?
Where's his hat?
Or did college teach you out of Jesus? 'Cause that's what they do.
But with this change of appearance...
Is he trying to be the shittier version of VeggieTales?
Peanut Tales.
It led a lot of people and those educated on his past to take notice of the new Peanut in town, and people would almost immediately begin shitting on him all over again.
How's Houston treating you? Fine. What do you do for a living, son? Still in school. Still in school? Alrighty then, young buck. I see. What do you plan on doing when you graduate? What do you want to do when you grow up? I don't know. Alright, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you figure it out soon. You gonna go to college or what? I don't know. The one thing I don't want to be is a
stupid church streamer who posts stuff online without permission. My name is Dr. Shud, you fucking loser. Get off of Fortnite.
The faithful sheriff would begin picking up traction to the point where he was more known than his days as the Witnesser, and at times just as well known as the Burnt Peanut himself, because people just loved to point and laugh at him. Clips of him being trolled or just being bad at games would be endlessly circulated on platforms, to the point where it eventually reached outside to people who didn't even know his backstory or who he was, and some would once again mistake him for the Peanut that everybody was talking about and was blowing up at the time. But even though from the outside the troll
Why would you post it? Why?
Clips of him being trolled or just being bad at games would be endlessly circulated on platforms, to the point where it eventually reached outside to people who didn't even know his backstory or who he was, and some would once again mistake
making moo. My favorite streamer, unironically. There we go. Shuck, can you please raid someone next time you are streaming? Okay, I don't know why people are hating your content. It's actually good. Love your Planet Fitness.
Why?
Take him for the Peanut that everybody was talking about and was blowing up at the time. But even
You didn't even let me finish reading that.
Yeah, I can back it up.
Probably for the best. No, I don't want to anymore.
even though from the outside the trolling and everything sounds pretty funny, obviously some trolls would take it too far, where on multiple occasions people have gotten into his Fortnite lobby and read out both his and his wife's social security number.
Way too far. That's new. That's way too far. That's less trolling and more
doxing.
I was gonna say police charging.
How?
He got hacked.
How?
I don't know. Shit happens.
And their address where they live with their 2 kids, which is terrible since it potentially puts both him and his family in danger, and it's so bad in fact people just apparently post his home address everywhere.
Like how you lied about being from Texas when you live at...
I don't live there, buddy.
Really? Because your wife does.
On another occasion, the faithful sheriff supposedly received a cease and desist letter from the Burnt Peanut whilst live, and it resulted in him immediately ending his livestream as he thought he was about to be sued for using the Peanut's likeness. However, he would later clarify this was a fake email and had nothing to do with the real Burnt Peanut, and in that post he would also say that to prevent this from happening again, he would remove himself from the Burnt Peanut universe and remove...
Yeah, probably a good idea.
It'd be like me basing my lore around Kirsha or some shit. That's retarded.
Yep.
Ugh.
The Burnt Peanut from his lore, but he will not stop being a peanut. So now the faithful sheriff no longer had an arch enemy, but that hole would quickly be filled by another, which was Super Mega. And for context, around this time this account was responsible for the circulation of the Burnt Peanut's avatar with his cock out, which is something they would repeat upon hearing about the existence of the faithful sheriff, but they would claim that the faithful sheriff himself asked them to do this so he could be more like the Burnt Peanut, which is a claim the sheriff would deny, leading Super Mega to leak supposed DMs, where the sheriff apparently asked for this picture to be made, and even provided a picture of his IRL penis for reference. Now for those of you that are mentally deficient, this was a blatant troll, and the faithful sheriff would prove it was a troll with one key piece of evidence.
Never said this. I never even knew that these guys existed prior to yesterday when this post came out. Here's a picture of my real penis that you can use. Obviously, this is not me. Y'all have seen me. This person probably weighs about 170. I'm 300 pounds.
I personally don't believe he would take the lap of copying the Burnt Peanut that far, and once again, obviously, this is a troll. But unfortunately, instead of moving on, the faithful sheriff would...
critics. Here's my actual penis.
Keep feeding said troll, responding to basically every post about him on that page, and even threatening legal action, which I don't think he would pursue, because he's claimed this before and nothing came of it. Plus, it's incredibly expensive, and I don't know about the faithful sheriff's finances. I don't even think he's at a position where streaming is his job, and he hasn't divulged anything about his employment, but either way, I think he probably won't have the resources to pursue a lengthy legal battle. However, even to this day, Super Mega is still trolling him, even saying he got in.
Well, if you get people showing up to your house random like that, yeah, that's when you stop.
Oh, yeah, no, that's way too dangerous.
Contact to put a penis on his new avatar, because yes, the faithful sheriff wasn't done just yet. He would keep evolving. So what would he become next? Who would he copy next, I hear you asking? Well, that's the funny thing. Unlike his other iterations, he wouldn't really change.
No. That would be the best next iteration. He just turns into a waifu.
He copies me.
Pretty much more like you.
If you hear me start preaching about Jesus, it's not me, okay?
He was still a peanut, just now an anime peanut.
Oh, close enough. Okay, we're slowly transitioning to that point. Where we're slowly... Wait, are those my eyes? Wait, did he copy me?
Or, dare I say it, a VTuber.
I tell you what inspired this. You guys want to hear what inspired this? I was going to collab with a streamer, and this streamer was a Christian streamer, and she was a VTuber. And
Wait,
I was going to collab with her, and I thought, hey, how quickly can I get this model? Like, I came up with a concept. I was like, I want this model. How quickly can I get this model so that when we collab, I can be a VTuber too, like an anime version? And she go like, can I get this in a couple days? And she was like, no, are you kidding me? Like, no. And she told me the whole process and how much and all that. And I was like, wow. So I then got inspired and I was like, I'm going to do this. And yeah. Anyways,
you know, I didn't do that for months. I didn't drop a bomb on Paris.
That's the state of my Instagram Reels feed, by the way. That was immediately after. But yeah, he was now a VTuber, and in my opinion, I'm pretty sure of the context given, it was completely AI generated, like a lot of the assets on his stream. But around the time he debuted as a VTuber, he...
If that's AI, that's pretty damn good for AI.
I did copy my eyes then.
He also managed to get in a conflict with Jinxie of all people.
He sent us down. Oh my god. How old was the kid?
Jinxie's like another big streamer.
Oh my god. I don't know if there is legitimately a worse thing you could do or say. I don't legitimately think there's a worse thing you could do with your time than play Fortnite with a 7-year-old and tell him he's going to hell. Like, I legitimately, I would put that on the dead last thing to be doing with your time.
That's definitely a
super
kind of thing.
Angry. What really pisses me off about Jinxie and all these other streamers that are talking smack about this is that they don't know what they're talking about. It astounds me how someone could be streaming to 30,000 people and be this popular when they're 100% this stupid.
Now, Jinxie had just
items. Is there a peanut in there?
No, I got bread.
You got bread?
I got bread. I like bread.
Peanut butter and bread?
Stop it.
Covered who the faithful sheriff was, and he had started to look back at some of his most infamous clips, especially around the time he was Dr. Witnesser. And he had a few takes on his behaviour around this time, much to the dismay of the faithful sheriff, who basically denied any wrongdoing, especially in his most infamous clip clarifying he never told that child they were going to go to hell, only to then somewhat walk back that when reviewing the original clip, and he gives the excuse, I said he was sentenced to hell, not sent to hell.
Like, they listened to this video, and to them, it sounds one way.
Sentence and sent, it's pretty much the same damn thing in this context.
When in all actuality, it's something completely different. And the only thing I could come up with is that they're literally possessed by demons, or they are willingly, knowingly being this stupid on purpose. Not what I said at all.
In general, it doesn't matter that I'm in America. Christianity is all over the world. So look, if you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell.
If you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell.
Did not say sentence. You said sent.
Not sent to hell.
You
not
said
that you're
sent.
going to hell. The sentence
He did
would
not
be
say sentence,
hell.
did he?
Let's
He
be
said
honest,
sent.
it's not really the faithful sheriff's fault here. He's got a terminal case of internet lolcow, and one of the symptoms is quite literally for you to claim that everyone else is wrong, and you're in the right even if there's piles of evidence proving otherwise. However, going past this, he would finally be recognized by his previous arch-enemy, and the very person that was responsible for his existence.
Peanut
Yes,
time.
the burnt peanut.
I got some interesting news. Did you know the burnt peanut actually responded to me over the weekend? You guys wouldn't know that.
So he goes into the burnt peanut stream whilst he's
it a
alive
cease and
and notices
desist?
his name is blocked,
Yeah.
and because his name was blocked from being typed, it obviously meant if he went into his chat with the faithful sheriff as his username, no matter what he said, the messages would not send because of that username. So when he realizes this, he calls the mods goofy, and the peanut sees this message.
LOL mods, you're so goofy for blocking me. Goofy mods.
And after being
bet you
surprised
Burnt
about
Peanut
this, the
got enough
faithful sheriff
donies
apologizes
to
and
go
says,
into one
"Oh,
of his
I
streams
thought
or
my
something?"
messages were
Yeah.
blocked." And the burnt peanut will respond saying, "Yes, your name is blocked in my stream."
No, only I can see what
But
you're saying. You are
why?
blocked. That is true. You are blocked, sir. Only I can see what you're saying.
But what
And
would
with
be
this
the
opportunity,
reason
he
for
would
this
ask the
block?
burnt peanut if he could
I
join
don't
the
know,
Rust
'cause this
server
guy-
where him and a lot of other
Is it because he's trying to avoid a lawsuit?
Oh no, he's just trying to avoid this guy clout chasing off you. I mean, makes sense.
Oh wait, no. Was it the burnt peanut was muted on the faithful sheriff, or was it the faithful sheriff that was muted on the burnt peanut?
Yeah, Faithful Sheriff is muted on the burnt peanut.
Oh. Okay, never mind. I was confused.
Some Playboy classic, yeah.
popular streamers were creating content, and in response, the burnt peanut would just ban him directly instead of just his name this time.
I go,
idea.
so I guess this means
did
I
that from
can't
the
join the
beginning.
Rust server. And then shortly, like
So wait.
10 seconds after,
This guy decided to go. It'd be a fun idea to go back and try to simp over the burnt peanut and just finally get him fully banned at this point.
Yeah.
Simp award. We need to call the Do we need to call the
The
Kirsha?
Simp Award.
We need to call the Kirsha.
No, the casino wearing a triangle. Simp Award.
after I say that, he bans me from the chat.
And just to take this a step further, he would post this clip on Twitter, where Gingy, Peanut's friend, would respond saying Peanut doesn't really care about him and the sheriff is just being very parasocial and he needs help, of which he would respond, "You're still boring." Holy aura.
Wow,
the conversation
what a
continues where
burn.
she
So
says he's just a
creative.
copy and he just alludes to her being racist or something, and the conversation ends there. But as that was ending, the Faithful Sheriff universe was about to see a few more additions, when people decided they would copy the copy by creating their own version of the Faithful Sheriff. We had Faithful Emmy, who was apparently in love with the Faithful Sheriff. We had the
Okay,
Faithless Sheriff, and even the Faithful word I cannot say. There was quite a lot of them.
I mean, that's not so much you can't say it.
The Faithful Peanut. Why does this one look like he's retarded?
I wonder why.
The Faithful.
And despite the fact the Faithful universe was growing, the Faithful Sheriff wasn't too happy about this, because he
course,
thought
he's
this
gonna
was
call
just
them-
people blatantly
Copying
okay.
him.
Okay,
oh.
the Faithful Emmy was showing up on Twitter, and that person was just harassing the shit out of him. And like they got blocked, and they were doing all this crying emoji shit on Twitter, and it was fucking funny.
He just loves you so much. Why would you push away your lovely yandere?
It was. I wish I could find it. It was. I wish I would have saved it. It was.
That was the girlfriend one, right?
Yeah. Oh.
copying him, which, to say the least, is very, very...
Calling the kettle black.
And then I saw the Faithful N-word show up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the peanut?
Stuff that we do not want to get involved with.
I don't. I'm just gonna point and laugh at it.
Yep, laugh at it
Ironic.
from afar.
And at this point, I honestly can't tell if he's just going along with this or actually thinks like this, because he's just feeding the trolls constantly. But finally, in this story, the faithful sheriff had one more evolution, because he would
Cow?
turn into a cat.
Oh, hi.
You probably should have did this one a long-ass time ago, to be honest.
He looks like Puss in Boots.
Well, where else do you think you got the inspiration from?
Probably saying to yourself, I can't believe the faithful sheriff's a cat now. Well, at least nobody can call me a copycat. Get it? Copycat.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Eustace.
He went from a Dr. Disrespect clone.
Oh my god, he is copying Eustace. Oh.
To a Peanut clone, to an anime Peanut, to a fucking cat. What a legacy this guy has. But that's where the faithful sheriff is to this day, and he's still basically doing the same content. The only thing that has really changed over the years is the persona, or the LARP he uses.
Okay, I'll tell you what, someone. If some reason you're watching this faithful sheriff guy, or see anything on this faithful sheriff guy, and he transforms again, and this time he's an anime waifu, let me know, because I fucking called it.
I'm a fine little child, playing League all day until the sun comes up.
So in conclusion, that is the faithful sheriff, aka Dr. Witnesser, aka Edward Preacher, and in my opinion, he does deserve the criticism thrown his way. His online history is basically built on copying others and controversies that tie down to his own actions that in lolcow fashion he can admit fault on, and he is either unknowingly or purposely feeding trolls online, which just encourages more trolls and even more hate when he could just mitigate all of this by ignoring it. But at least now he's sort of doing his own thing, and who knows, maybe we'll see the faithful sheriff in the top 10 streamers alongside.
Sure, we'll be here before he gets there.
People like Jinxie and Queso. Yeah, I think that's very unlikely, but anyway, what are you doing with your life, huh? Not subscribed to the channel, probably.
I'll feel bad if we're below him.
Well, to be fair, we don't do anything controversial to get attention.
Point.
Alright, that was the end of all that.
Well, thank you all for joining us for this lovely video. Bye! Thank you all for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It would make me very happy. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug.